Okay guys, I'm going to do a little how-to reminder video for our transactions so that we don't have too many problems getting this FAAB process started and try to avoid some headaches. So on my team I have put Javier Baez on my active lineup just for this purpose. I'll back all that out later. So here's what's going on. You have your team. It's Sunday night. Trying to figure out who you want to pick up for your DL spots or just dropping other players. I'm going to go through a couple different things. So here's my team, as you can see, lovely 7th place right now, and I want to add somebody for Javier Baez because we're going to pretend that he's in the he's active for me. So I go through, I find a second baseman, Kelby Tomlinson. Great, let's pick him up. So this is where you want to make sure your move comes in handy. I want to DL Javier Baez as my corresponding move. We have to make a corresponding move each time. So I'm going to put Javier Baez on the DL. There's our corresponding move. Down here it asks us to put our bid amount in. I'm going to put in 10, even though it kind of seems high for Kelby. And then we're going to hit submit. My ad drop has been submitted. Great. Now I'm worried that someone like Brian's going to spend $10 or $12 on Kelby Tomlinson. And if that's the case, I don't want to spend more than 10, but I need a backup plan in case someone else grabs him. So we're gonna do a backup plan for Kelby. Find another second baseman. Actually, the easier way to do that would probably be just do this. Kelly Johnson. I really like Kelly Johnson back in 2010. So we're going, actually 2008, I probably was more that time. So Kelly Johnson, oh, he's a left fielder. So we can't do that because that would mess up our rosters. But he must be second base eligible because I sorted by second baseman. Let's check. Loading, 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 and boom, he can play all these places. So he's okay to pick up for Javier Baez because he's middle infield. So let's go ahead and DL Javier Baez again. And this time, I'm not as big on Kelly Johnson as I am on that other guy, Kelby, so I'm only going to bid $6 this time. There, submit. Now, as you can see, I have 2 FAAB requests in to replace Javier Baez, Kelby Tomlinson and Kelly Johnson. Now, you can mark your priorities however you want over here, but they're always going to take the higher bid. So even if I wanted to be like, I'd rather have Kelby Johnson at 6 than Kelby Tomlinson at 10, which I know seems weird, but at some point in time that's going to happen. You cannot do that. Now, if they were both $6, then you can move Kelly Johnson ahead of Kelby Tomlinson, so on and so forth. So you got that. All right, so let's get rid of that. Now let's go through, and I want to look at my team again. And I'm just pissed at David Wright for no apparent reason like Brian. And we want to get rid of him, even though he's, well, he's not doing great, I guess, but he did okay today. So I'm going to find a replacement for David Wright. We want to add drop a player. This time we're going to sort by third baseman. Oh, David. And let's go ahead, Adam Rosales, who obviously has corner eligibility, I'm guessing. That's where I have David Wright. And David, oh, actually we got David at third. But Mark Reynolds can play both, so I'm not worried about it. So now, for the purpose of David Wright, we are going to drop him. And this is how we drop. And let's put $4 on Rosales. And submit. This way, and submit. This way we don't have, you can't pick up more players than what you want and unintentionally steal it from somebody else and try to back FAAB out and come back in. Also, this way we don't have people being picked up or dropped in the middle of the week. So say if I would have decided to drop David Wright last night, then he would have showed up on the FAAB process this week, which isn't fair because it would show up for some people, wouldn't show up for other people, so on and so forth. Now, I've gone through and done all these. I've just decided, you know what? I don't want any FAAB pickups, which is really the case right now. So we're just going to get rid of these by doing this. So now I don't have to worry about any more add drops because they are gone, even though it still says 2 there. See, no pending add drops. So please make sure that you put in corresponding moves. If you have a guy that is demoted to the minors, instead of having that DL or the minus sign next to the person's name, let's just say we want to pick up John J. There'll be an M on over here in green, and so that person can be demoted to the minors. So you're either drop, DL, or demoted to the minors. Thank goodness I have no one being demoted to the minors. One more thing, like what Brian was talking about. Let's go and use Malik Smith, since he was the one that Brian used as an example. And just so everyone's clear where that's at. Malik Smith, it says minors right here. If the person says minors, disabled list, or suspended, you cannot pick them up. So minors, it doesn't matter if he was called up or not called up. We always use what CBS has, just so there's no confusion. So minors, cannot pick him up. Let's think of a guy that could possibly be on the DL. Oh, I think this guy's on the DL. Disabled, you cannot pick him up. Do not bid on him. It causes problems. The last one is suspended. Oops. No. Duh. Of course we're not going to find suspended, but Jose Reyes is suspended. So when you go to his players page, it says suspended. Even though it says available for auction on Monday, he's not. He is suspended. He cannot be bid upon for an auction purpose until he is activated to the roster. If you guys have any questions after watching this, please ask, reply to the post. We will definitely get it all figured out and help you out, because really it's less of a headache for everybody that way. So good luck. It was good seeing everybody yesterday, and congratulations to Joe for winning week 1, it looks like. Thanks, guys.